Attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. You can be the nicest guy, the most loyal, the most giving, but still, she pulls away. Still, the energy shifts. Still, you're left wondering, what went wrong? Here's the truth. Most men don't lose women because of what they did. They lose them because of what they said. Words they thought were honest, romantic, deep. But instead, those words triggered insecurity, pressure, and imbalance. And just like that, the spark died because attraction isn't built on logic, it's built on feeling. And some phrases, even if you meant well, silently kill that feeling. They flip the dynamic. They shrink your presence, and they turn your love into emotional weight. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 common phrases that every man needs to stop saying if he wants to keep the connection alive. Say the wrong thing, and you'll lose her without even realizing why. Let's make sure that never happens to you. 1. I'm nothing without you. It sounds poetic. A line pulled straight from the climax of a romantic movie. I'm nothing without you. But in the real world, this isn't love. It's emotional dependence dressed up as devotion. And while it might feel intense, it's actually a red flag. Because the truth is, no healthy relationship is built on one person's sense of self being tied entirely to another. When a man says, I'm nothing without you, he's not offering love and he's surrendering identity. He's saying, I don't know who I am unless you validate me. And that's not attractive. Not to a woman who's emotionally mature. Not to someone looking for partnership, not worship. A woman may want to feel loved, desired, important, but she doesn't want to feel like your oxygen. Because the moment you place your entire self-worth in her hands, you stop being a man. She can respect and start becoming a burden she must carry. Women are drawn to men with purpose. Men with a mission. Men who can stand on their own and choose her, not need her to function. When your world orbits entirely around her, it creates imbalance. The power shifts, the respect fades, and the pressure builds on her. Eventually, she won't feel adored, she'll feel suffocated. So yes, express love, say she matters. Show her she's a priority, but never make her feel like she's your lifeline. Because the strongest relationships are not formed by 2 halves becoming whole, they're formed by 2 whole people choosing to walk side by side. 2. I'm scared you'll leave me. It sounds vulnerable, honest, even a little romantic in the moment. But I'm scared you'll leave me doesn't invite closeness. It triggers distance. What you're revealing isn't love, it's fear. Fear of abandonment, fear of not being enough, fear of being left behind. And while vulnerability is essential in any real relationship, this kind of vulnerability, when it's rooted in panic rather than trust, puts the emotional weight of your insecurity on her shoulders. It doesn't draw her in. It makes her feel responsible for your stability. That's not partnership, that's pressure. And she may not say it out loud, but she feels it deeply. She feels the shift from being a loved woman to being your emotional caretaker. And slowly, she starts to pull away because attraction isn't built on desperation. It's built on presence, on poise, on the quiet confidence that says, I want you here, but I'm whole either way. When you tell her you're scared she'll leave, what you're really saying is, you have more power in this relationship than I do. And that energy over time becomes repelling. Not because she's cruel, but because she's human. And humans are naturally drawn to strength, emotional, spiritual, and mental. Instead, flip the script. Tell her you value her, that you enjoy building with her, that her presence adds to your life, but doesn't define it, because the moment she senses that your love comes from security rather than fear, she doesn't feel like she has to stay, she wants to. 3. You're out of my league. At first glance, it might seem like a compliment. You're out of my league. But here's the truth. You're not flattering her. You're devaluing yourself. What she hears isn't, You're amazing. What she hears is, I don't believe I'm worthy of you. And whether she's conscious of it or not, that shifts the entire dynamic. Women respond deeply to how you see yourself. If you place her on a pedestal and shrink in your own eyes, she'll feel it. And over time, it will erode the attraction. Because romantic connection doesn't thrive where there's imbalance. It thrives where there's mutual respect, mutual desire, mutual energy. Telling her she's out of your league creates invisible distance. You've already placed her above you, and now every interaction feels like you're trying to keep up rather than connect. That's not romantic. It's exhausting. And confident men don't think in terms of leagues. They don't measure themselves by surface comparisons. They don't chase validation from beauty, status, or attention. They understand that true connection is about compatibility, not competition. You might admire her looks, her intellect, her aura. That's great, tell her. But don't frame it as, you're better than me. Frame it as, you're incredible, and I'm grateful we get to meet at this level. Because when you carry yourself with quiet self-respect, she doesn't feel like she's settling. She feels like she's choosing a man who sees her, and also sees himself, clearly, confidently, and without apology. 4. I'll do anything for you. It sounds romantic, even noble. I'll do anything for you. But underneath the loyalty and passion is a dangerous message, because when you say anything, what you're really saying is, my boundaries don't exist as long as you're happy. And that's not love. That's self-erasure. Real love isn't about blind submission. It's not about losing yourself to prove your devotion. It's about mutual respect, mutual standards, and mutual strength. When a man declares he'll do anything for a woman, it may sound loyal at first. But over time, it starts to feel desperate. It signals that your identity, your values, and even your self-respect are negotiable if it means keeping her. And no woman with depth wants that. She doesn't want a servant. She wants a partner. Someone with his own spine, his own principles, his own center. A man who can love her deeply, but still say no when it matters. Because here's what most men miss. A man with standards is infinitely more attractive than a man who abandons himself for affection. She may test your boundaries, she may push your limits. Not because she's manipulative, but because part of her wants to feel your strength. Your ability to hold your line, lovingly but firmly. So don't make love a performance of sacrifice. Make it a space of respect. Give with sincerity, not desperation. Support her, protect her, uplift her, yes. But not at the cost of yourself. Because the moment she sees that your love includes boundaries, she knows it's real, and she knows you're real. 5. Please don't hurt me. It sounds honest, vulnerable, maybe even sweet. But please don't hurt me doesn't make her feel trusted. It makes her feel responsible for healing wounds she didn't cause. It reveals insecurity, not intimacy. It tells her, I'm already bracing for pain, and I'm handing you the power to either break me or save me. And here's the hard truth. No one wants to be handed someone else's emotional history like a burden. Women don't want to be tested for damage they didn't inflict. They don't want to feel like your therapist, your savior, or your emotional lifeline. They want to feel your strength, especially in your vulnerability. Yes, you may have been hurt before. Yes, love is risky. But real trust isn't about begging someone not to break you. It's about choosing to show up with your heart open anyway. When you say, please don't hurt me, you're not inviting love. You're inviting caution. You're laying the groundwork of fear, and from that soil, nothing healthy grows. Attraction is not built on pleading. It's built on presence, on grounded energy, on the unspoken message. I've been through things, but I've grown through them, and I still choose to love. That's magnetic. That's powerful. So instead of asking her not to hurt you, show her who you are now. Show her that your past shaped you, but didn't shatter you. Show her that love isn't something you fear. It's something you're ready to give with wisdom, not weakness. Because a woman feels safest with a man who's not afraid to trust. But who would still survive if that trust was ever broken? Conclusion: if you've ever said any of these things before, and don't beat yourself up, you weren't weak. You were just unaware. You were speaking from emotion, not strategy. From sincerity, not strength. And that's okay. Every man who's ever wanted to love deeply has, at some point, let fear leak into his words. Let insecurity shape his tone. Let his desire to keep her make him forget how to keep himself. But now, you know better. Now you understand that the words you speak shape the energy you carry, and the energy you carry determines whether she feels trust or tension. Think how. Truth is, love isn't about grand gestures or perfect lines. It's about alignment, confidence, clarity. It's about showing up as the man who knows his value and never needs to prove it. So, no shame, no regret, just growth. Let these moments be lessons, not labels. Let them refine your approach, not define your worth. Because the men who win in love aren't perfect, they're intentional. They move with wisdom. They lead with calm. They express emotions without losing self-respect. And if you're ready to go deeper, to truly understand how to attract the kind of woman who respects your presence, honors your boundaries, and matches your vision, then it's time. Enroll in my exclusive dating course for men, designed to give you the tools, mindset, and game plan to stop chasing and start choosing. Because once you master your frame, your energy, and your standards, you won't just find love, you'll command it. The next chapter starts now. Let's build it right.